I like that. I'd probably go Diana Taurasi because she has the finances, and then the business would be like being on a yacht, on a boat, on a lake, or on the ocean. You know, drinks flowing, you're getting a nice tan, but definitely on her budget, not mine.
Sophie Cunningham lit up the internet with a wave of moments no one saw coming, each more irresistible than the last. From playful courtside antics to off-duty charm that melted timelines, her posts have sparked a frenzy of likes, debates, and even unexpected tributes.
It's just kind of who I am. I want to pour into my team as much as possible, and I'm pretty in tune with my body. I can read a room pretty well, and so when I see we're lacking a little bit, you got to step up. But if we're good, you're just there to encourage and give people confidence.
But what's behind the magnetism that keeps fans glued to her every move? Is it calculated brand genius, pure authenticity, or something far more surprising?
I've seen players in our league try to toughen up Caitlin. I know the talks that Phoenix had in the locker room of no, we're going to prove her, we're going to show her what the W really is. I'm what are people doing? It's just too much.
One thing's certain, this story goes well beyond a viral post, and it's just getting started. When fines turn into fortune, the Sophie Cunningham effect. It started with a $500 fine, the kind of punishment meant to sting, to warn, to quiet a player down.
People, when they're like, hey, when you get old, you're going to know. Boy, I think I'm starting to get old, and I hate saying that.
But for Sophie Cunningham, it became fuel for her growing fire. A TikTok post, blunt and unapologetic, aimed at the WNBA's officiating with a mix of frustration and humor.
Stupid. Or is it slow? Maybe it's useless.
Stupid. Or is it slow? Maybe it's useless. The clip exploded online, racking up 1.3 million views, flooding with supportive comments, and turning a disciplinary slap into yet another golden opportunity. What should worry the WNBA isn't just the backlash. It's the fact that this was the second time they'd made the same costly mistake this year. Weeks earlier, Sophie had already been fined $400 after stepping in to protect Caitlin Clark, humbling JCS Sheldon in the process. That game ended with her being ejected, but it also lit the fuse on something bigger. Her jersey sold out in hours. Her TikTok following skyrocketed from 300,000 to over 1 million. She became, almost overnight, the enforcer fans didn't know they needed. Someone willing to stand up, take the hits, and keep swinging. Any league with foresight would have seen the pattern. Fining Sophie didn't silence her, it amplified her. It turned her into a symbol, a rallying point for fans frustrated with what they saw as inconsistent calls and double standards. But instead of stepping back, the WNBA doubled down. In the weeks after her first fine, Sophie was living her new superstar reality. Brand deals were pouring in, mainstream interviews stacking up, and her popularity stretching far beyond the court. Yet the same on-court pattern continued. She took an elbow to the head from Connecticut's Olivia Nelson-Ododa, no whistle. She got grabbed by the neck during a scramble against the Sparks, still no call. Each time she walked away bruised but undeterred, the missed calls only sharpening her voice. Then came the TikTok that reignited everything. Calling out the refs wasn't just venting, it was connecting. Fans felt she was saying what they were all thinking. And on July 23rd, the WNBA responded exactly as they had before, with another fine. Sophie's reaction was telling. Laughter. I don't know why this is funny to me. Okay, you got it, bud. She wasn't mocking the money. She was recognizing the inevitability. Another fine meant another viral moment, another wave of fan loyalty, and another spike in her market value. The numbers speak for themselves. The first $400 fine brought her 1 million new followers, national headlines, and sold-out merchandise. The second $500 fine, 700,000 more followers in just 3 days, plus fresh brand deals. In total, she's paid $900 in fines and gained millions in brand value. Possibly the best return on investment in sports history. And Sophie knows it. It's cool. It's funny what people are kind of attracted to, she said. with the confidence of someone fully aware that she's winning. And the WNBA? They may just be funding her rise, one fine at a time. But what if Sophie's fine was only the opening act, and her next viral moment sends the WNBA into uncharted territory? Keep watching. Sophie Cunningham's carousel that captured the internet. Sophie Cunningham didn't just post pictures, she dropped a full-blown visual story that lit up the basketball world. In a single Instagram carousel, the Indiana Fever star pulled fans right into the heart of her season, blending grit, humor, and the raw moments that make pro sports feel human. The post didn't just catch fire, it spread like lightning, pulling in thousands of reactions and sparking a wave of heartfelt responses, most notably from teammates Caitlin Clark and Lexi Hull. The caption was simple, teasing, and perfectly on brand. "What's with all the commotion lately?" That playful line set the tone. Fans scrolled through frame after frame, each image a snapshot of the Fever's relentless grind and tight-knit camaraderie. Caitlin Clark, never one to miss a chance to stir the pot, joked in the comments, "Some of my flicks made it huge," claiming credit for a few of the highlights. Lexi Hull jumped in with her own brand of support, hyping Sophie with infectious enthusiasm. The first image stopped people cold. Sophie seated alone on a dimly lit team bus, sipping juice straight from the container, eyes locked on her phone. She's wrapped in a warm WNBA sweatshirt, the fatigue of constant travel written in the quiet set of her posture. It's an intimate, unglamorous glimpse into the everyday life of a professional athlete, the kind of behind-the-scenes honesty fans rarely get to see. Swipe again, and you're courtside. Sophie, in the Fever's bold red jersey, is locked in battle against Las Vegas Aces phenom Kelsey Plum. She's mid-dribble, eyes blazing, every muscle tensed in focus. Her purple sneakers pop against the court, a bright slash of individuality in a high-stakes game. Another photo flips the mood entirely. A fiery shot of Sophie in mid-argument with a referee, arms raised in defiance as teammate Nalissa Smith moves in to calm her down. Behind them, a sold-out crowd roars, the energy practically humming off the screen. The travel grind gets another nod in a shot of Sophie climbing airplane stairs, dressed head to toe in comfortable gear, jet and blue sky behind her. It's the on-to-the-next city lifestyle distilled into a single frame. Then there's the lighter side, a playful moment from shoot-around where Sophie cradles the ball toward the camera as Caitlin Clark points at her, both grinning. It's the emerging chemistry that has fans buzzing, a mix of competitiveness and genuine friendship. But the carousel's emotional peak, a tight team huddle, Sophie dead center, flanked by Clark, Hull, and the rest of the Fever roster. Their expressions are laser-focused, a picture of unity and shared purpose. In that one frame, you can see leadership, ambition, and the burning desire to win. It was more than a social media post. It was a celebration of the grind, the grit, and the evolution of a team finding its voice. And with Caitlin Clark and Lexi Hull backing her every step, Sophie Cunningham wasn't just winning games, she was winning the culture war online. So how did it go from more than a post, a statement of grit, unity, and defiance, to the twerk heard around the WNBA, sparking an even bigger storm than Sophie's carousel? Stay glued. The twerk heard around the WNBA. The Indiana Fever had just secured their Commissioner's Cup victory over the Minnesota Lynx, a hard-fought game that had the energy of a playoff battle. The spotlight naturally fell on their biggest name, Caitlin Clark, but it wasn't Clark who ended up owning the internet that night. It was Sophie Cunningham. The moment came, not on the court, but in the afterglow of celebration. The team was buzzing, the locker room mood spilling into an Instagram live stream. Laughter echoed, music pulsed in the background, and players mingled in front of the camera with that mix of adrenaline and relief that comes only after a major win. Then, almost out of nowhere, Sophie appeared in the frame. It wasn't a speech, it wasn't a choreographed routine, just a few carefree seconds, Sophie turning, dropping into a quick twerk, then disappearing from view as fast as she arrived. The entire cameo couldn't have lasted more than a blink, but the impact was immediate. Brick Center, a popular sports content account, clipped the moment and posted it to X, formerly Twitter, with the caption, "Sophie Cunningham twerking after winning the cup." The post caught fire instantly. Within hours, it had over 1.5 million views, countless shares, and fans dissecting the moment frame by frame. But the real magic of the clip wasn't just the twerk. It was the unfiltered, chaotic joy surrounding it. In the full Instagram Live, you hear teammates and friends chattering over the music. Sophie, still buzzing from the win, calls out, "Don't say that it's a school night. Please." Then, scanning the comments, she grins, "Hey, if you're one of my friends and you're on here, comment, 'Miss you.'" I don't know if any of my friends are on here. Her attention shifts as she spots a familiar name. "Whoa, bro, Natasha." The energy ramps up. Off-camera voices hype each other up, with one teammate egging her on. "Guys, the girls went crazy tonight. Bust the fence, baby. Come on, TC, shake it." That's the moment Sophie takes center stage, her twerk met with a chorus of "Wow, wow, wow," and bursts of applause. It's raw, silly, and entirely human, a window into the post-game euphoria that fans rarely see. Even after she steps out of frame, the vibe doesn't die. Sophie's still half talking to the stream, half to herself. "Miss you, Bree. Wish you were here." Then, almost as an afterthought, "Dang, I know. I got to text my friends to get on." The whole thing feels like a house party caught in the middle of a championship moment, and that authenticity is exactly why it resonated so widely. In a league where viral moments are often polished highlight reels or choreographed celebrations, Sophie's brief, unscripted cameo stood out. It wasn't about branding or performance. It was about joy, personality, and letting fans peek into the unguarded, unfiltered side of victory. And in just a few seconds, she turned a cup win into a cultural snapshot the WNBA won't soon forget. But just when it seemed Sophie's viral streak had peaked, she dropped the "just rolled out of bed" post. Was this the moment her online legend became unstoppable? Stick with us. The "just rolled out of bed" post that took over the internet. On the morning of July 24th, 2025, Sophie Cunningham once again reminded the world why she's more than just a standout guard for the Indiana Fever. She's a master of commanding attention. In a single post on X, formerly Twitter, she turned what could have been a throwaway selfie into a cultural talking point. The photo showed her in a crisp white dress, looking effortlessly radiant. No studio lights, no elaborate set, just Sophie gazing into the camera with the kind of confidence that dares you to question it. The caption, however, is what sets the tone. "I'm tired of PPL telling me I don't look like this when I wake up. I just rolled out of bed. Clearly dummies." It was bold, cheeky, and unapologetically Sophie. The internet pounced. Within minutes, replies flooded in, witty, sarcastic, and adoring all at once. Some fans marveled at her perfection. One joked, "Sophie Cunningham could have saved the Titanic." Another declared, "She could end all wars. We need to clone her." The humor kept escalating. Someone claiming to know her personally chimed in, "I've been there when she wakes up in the morning, and I can confirm this is true." The thread became part admiration, part comedy show. Others leaned into playful skepticism, poking fun at the flawless presentation. "Must be nice waking up in full contour hairspray and heels," one fan quipped, followed by another's tongue-in-cheek agreement. "Yeah, that's totally me first thing in the morning too." But whether they believed her or not, the consensus was clear. Everyone was entertained. And the numbers told the same story. The post racked up over 2 million views and tens of thousands of likes in record time, proving that Sophie's online presence carries just as much weight as her performance on the court. This wasn't her first viral moment of the season, far from it. But it was another sharp reminder of her knack for blending humor, personality, and self-assurance into content that sticks. Part of Sophie's appeal is her unpredictability. One week, she's the fierce on-court enforcer defending teammate Caitlin Clark with unshakable loyalty. Next, she's making headlines for a post that toes the line between playful vanity and pure comedy. It's a mix that keeps fans hooked, never quite sure what she'll do next, but always certain it'll be worth watching. Her just rolled out of bed moment wasn't just about the photo. It was about the tone, the swagger, and the effortless way she invites the public into her world without filtering out the edge that makes her so distinct. It's why her spark shows no signs of fading as the season pushes forward. For Sophie Cunningham, going viral isn't an accident. It's an art form. And on July 24th, she proved yet again that she's mastered it. And when you thought Sophie's viral streak had peaked, an on-court disruption flipped the script. Was this chaos her most unforgettable moment yet? Stay tuned. The on-court disruption that put Sophie Cunningham back in the spotlight. It was supposed to be just another free throw, a routine moment in a tense WNBA game. The arena was locked in, eyes fixed on the shooter. Then, without warning, chaos cut through the calm. Something small, fast, and unexpected flew from the stands and landed on the court. From the angle of the cameras, it seemed to graze a player before skidding across the hardwood. Confused murmurs rippled through the crowd as the referees halted play, scanning for the source. Fans near the incident were quick to react, pointing toward the section where the object came from. Security shifted their attention, while commentators scrambled to make sense of what they had just seen. In a league where intensity is expected and emotions run high, this was different. A disruption that crossed a line. And here's where Sophie Cunningham comes in. This wasn't the first time she'd been near such an incident. In fact, just days earlier, she had taken to X, formerly Twitter, to address the growing problem. After another object had been tossed onto the court during a separate game, she sent out a pointed, no-nonsense message to fans everywhere. Stop throwing them on the court. It was classic Sophie, direct, unfiltered, and unwilling to let something slide just because it had been normalized by a few bad actors. She'd seen firsthand how dangerous it could be. A moment's recklessness from the stands could turn into a real injury for someone on the floor. And now, in almost eerie timing, it had happened again. Her warning suddenly felt less like a casual plea and more like a premonition. Social media lit up as clips of the moment spread. Fans replayed the footage, debating what exactly had been thrown and whether it was intentional. Some praised Sophie for speaking out before this incident, calling her the kind of voice the league needs, one willing to put safety above spectacle. Others admitted they hadn't taken the problem seriously until they saw it unfold in real time. The timing of it all made the situation even more viral. Her tweet from days earlier resurfaced, gaining thousands of new shares as people paired it with the fresh video. The narrative wrote itself. Sophie Cunningham had warned everyone, and now here was the proof. For Sophie, it wasn't about being right in the viral sense. It was about setting boundaries in a sport she loves, protecting her teammates, her opponents, and the integrity of the game. But the internet being what it is, the moment snowballed into another layer of her growing reputation. Not just as a fierce competitor on the court, but as someone who will call things out without hesitation. In the end, the object was removed, play resumed, and the game went on. But the incident lingered online, looping in highlight reels, reaction threads, and sports talk segments. And once again, Sophie Cunningham found herself at the center of a viral moment, this time for turning a split-second disruption into a rallying cry. Now, how does a split-second disruption turn into a rallying cry and set the stage for Sophie's pre-game look to steal the show? You won't want to miss this. The pre-game look that stole the show. On Tuesday night, before the Phoenix Mercury even tipped off against the Atlanta Dream, Sophie Cunningham had already claimed her own kind of victory, this one in the arena tunnel. Known for her unapologetic personality and an online presence that's as sharp as her game, Sophie delivered another entry into what fans are now calling the WNBA's unofficial fashion Hall of Fame. She didn't walk in wearing an elaborate designer ensemble or a statement piece dripping in accessories. Instead, she chose something deceptively simple, yet instantly unforgettable. An oversized Kobe Bryant crewneck sweatshirt. The fit was loose enough to blur the line between top and dress, giving it a leg-bearing silhouette that doubled as both cozy and daring. It was the kind of look that felt casual but carried a subtle edge, the perfect balance of sport and style. As she strolled into the building, cameras caught every step, the oversized sleeves swaying slightly, the Lakers legend's face emblazoned across the front. It was more than a fashion choice. It was a nod to greatness. Wearing Kobe wasn't just about style, it was about channeling a mentality, one Sophie has shown again and again both on and off the court. Her fans noticed immediately. Within minutes, the photos started circulating online, sparking a fresh wave of appreciation for how she continues to stand out in a league full of personalities. Comments poured in, praising not just the look itself, but the effortless way she pulled it off. "That's a winning look," one fan wrote, echoing the sentiment of many. Sophie's growing reputation as a fashion standout is no accident. She has a knack for walking the fine line between laid-back comfort and intentional statement. Whether it's a post-game interview outfit or an Instagram photo dump, her choices always feel authentic, never forced. And that authenticity is a huge part of why her social media following keeps climbing. People aren't just scrolling past her content. They're watching, sharing, and waiting to see what she'll do next. This latest pre-game moment was no exception. The oversized crew neck didn't just turn heads in the tunnel. It became another shareable moment, another reason for fans to talk about her. The look told a story. A star player paying homage to one of basketball's greatest while walking into a game ready to create her own highlights. And that's the thing about Sophie Cunningham. Whether she's making a bold statement in a game, dropping a viral social media post, or, as on this night, casually redefining the tunnel walk, she understands that presence matters. In an age where every step can be content, Sophie makes sure hers are worth watching. By the time the ball was tipped, the game hadn't even started for most fans, but Sophie had already won her moment. So, what do you think? Is Sophie Cunningham just enjoying viral fame or rewriting the WNBA playbook with bold moves, fearless moments, and style? Share your thoughts below in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.